start our lesson by learning some vocabulary and practice speaking English together. And today's topic is people and relationships. So I think it's really common among you. Xin chào tất cả mọi người, hôm nay mình sẽ quay trở lại với unit 1, unit đầu tiên trong chuỗi series là về giải coins or items. Wow, and today we will learn unit 1, people and relationships. Mình nghĩ cái chủ đề này rất là quen thuộc và các bạn sẽ được gặp trong videos, có thể là part 1, 2 or even 3. Okay. Có nghĩa là mọi người phải biết các vấn đề. Đầu tiên, vocabulary, character, personality, tức là những cái tính cách thì chúng ta sẽ sử dụng những cái tính từ khác nhau để mà mô tả. You are dictionary to find the meanings of the adjectives describing character and personality below. Sử dụng tính từ để mà mô tả những cái tính cách này, đúng không? Ok. Bây giờ mình sẽ cùng nhau tìm hiểu nghĩa của cái từ này và sẽ đặt cái câu vào trong những cái từ này vào cái câu một cái ngữ cảnh để mà chúng ta có thể dễ hiểu là ambitious thì rất là quen thuộc rồi. Ambitious tức là tham vọng. Ví dụ như là tôi có một cái tham vọng đó chính là muốn trở thành tỷ phú. Well, you know, I'm an ambitious person because I want to become a billionaire who can use money to help people in need. Okay, ambitious kiểu là những người tham vọng, hoặc là tôi tham vọng về việc đạt được cái vị trí cao trong cái tập học của mình. Well, I have an ambitious goal because I want to get to the top of my class in the position among good students. Okay, blunt, 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 blunt có nghĩa là lộ mạn và thô lỗ. Ví dụ như là his girlfriend is really blunt because she used to shake hands with many people who can not be a good person. Tức là bạn gái của cô ấy thì rất là thô lỗ, ví dụ là luôn muốn đòi bắt tay với những cái người khác không, thậm chí là không quen. Blunt, thô lỗ. Yeah, during the examination, he showed blunt because he is cheating in the exam, and I think he will get a low mark in his subject. Rồi ví dụ như là thô lỗ như thế nào này. Khi mà tôi đang nói chuyện thì bạn nhảy vào tường rồi, bạn chặn tôi, bạn không cho tôi nói như vậy thì well, normally in my class, when I usually talk with someone in my class, my friend interrupt me and immediately, and I think she is really blunt. Yeah, because I want to make an examination for my friends, not her. Okay, blunt là một cái clever, là intelligent, là smart, có nghĩa là thông minh. Ví dụ như là cô ấy thì quá thông minh đến nỗi có thể là giải được những cái bài toán chỉ trong tích tắc thôi. Như vậy thì she is so clever that she can handle the math exercises in some seconds. Creative là sáng tạo. Ví dụ như là I think the artist is really creative because she can draw many beautiful pens and pictures that cost a lot. But I don't think it's an expensive thing that people want to have. But it's the meaningful message inside that can stand out. Yeah, thường thì cái người skillful và vui vẻ hơn, và người ta thường là thích cái giá trị của nó là thích cái gì cái biết message cái thông điệp ý nghĩa của bức tranh chứ không phải là mắt và nó đặc xa về trong cái sở he is really creative because he can think logically and intentionally how to reduce the steps when solving problems. Ta rất là sáng tạo khi mà nghĩ ra cái cách để mà làm giảm đi những cái giai đoạn, những cái bước khi mà giải quyết một cái vấn đề. Ok, good fun, thường mà good fun thì là người đó vui vẻ, thú vị. Ok, good fun. My father is good fun. Yeah, he always tell a joke with my family members when we have a party or even on a normal day, like when we have dinner together. He usually tell story that everyone in my family believe in him, but it's actually a lie, and it's really funny. So I think he is a good fun person. Okay, hardworking tức là kiểu chăm chỉ đúng không? My sister is really hardworking because she spends most of her time working in the company that he dedicated her life doing there to earn money. Sometimes he also gave me some money for me to pay for the tuition fee at university. So I really admire her for her hardworking personality. Impatient và kiểu mất kiên nhẫn. Well, I would say that people who are hot-tempered and impatient when doing something are really hard to do big things. Những người mà mất kiên nhẫn và nóng tính thì sẽ không làm được chuyện lớn. When you are going to be a doctor, you need to be patient before the request from the patients. If not, you can get stuck and impatient, and this can lead to a lot of problems, like being fired by the hospital. Tức là làm bác sĩ phải rất là kiên nhẫn, không được mất kiên nhẫn khi mà mình nhận yêu cầu gì đó, vân vân. Rồi judgmental, judge, đừng có judge thì nó kiểu là phán xét, như vậy thì judgmental thì nó mang tính phán xét đúng không? Yeah, I think the friendship between the girls or females in my class is really difficult to maintain for a long time. This is simply because they always jealous of each other, and some people are really blunt and judgmental when the other failed to do something or to share their experiences with, they think that the other is betrayal. Họ thì thường phán xét những cái người mà như đây, tức là những cái bạn tuổi này nó rất là dễ phán xét nhau và break up, break down the relationship, làm mỏng đi cái mối quan hệ bạn bè, chỉ vì là judgmental, kiểu là chê bai người khác hay là phán xét người khác. Yeah, I think that people who is judgmental is really blunt, rất là thô lỗ, because he or she always compares her talent with themselves. That's why this can lead to many bad, negative results or consequences example, like I don't think we should make friends with someone who is blunt and judgmental because they can judge you anytime they like, and this can lead to a bad result that you will be judged by many people, and you know, I think judgmental people are usually uh, judgmental people usually occur and happen in the rural areas, especially in the neighborhood, because they are really free and they don't have anything to say about to talk about. They will, you know, take another person that they like and talk with their partner in a conversation, so they can give many judgmental feedback and moments and reviews comment about them. Okay, how about nosy what nếu mà curious thôi curious thì nó sẽ là tò mò nè. I'm curious about exploring the world, so that's why I need to travel a lot in the future. Còn cái nosy thì nó là quá tò mò. Yeah, there are some people and neighbors who are always nosy about others' family. When a husband and her wife in a family have a conflict, well, many people and neighbors gather together to judge them and even give them many judgmental comments, and um, so it's a signal of their nosy behavior. How about open-minded? Tức là đầu óc cởi mở. Although my grandparents are really old, they are really open-minded and they are not considerate. Yeah, because my family members always stand by them and teach them modern techniques and the younger lifestyles so that they can keep up with their change, keep up with the change that also enrich and enhance, build up the generation gap. Open-minded kiểu là đầu óc cởi mở. Yeah, my friend is really optimistic. Yeah, he is always, curious about what he cannot explain. He are willing to ask teacher for help when he cannot solve a problem or doesn't understand something. So he is really optimistic, confident, and even open-minded. Because when he faces challenges in his life, he don't give up. He doesn't give up, but he tries his best to find another solution or an alternative way to cope with this instead of giving up halfway. How about oversensitive? Yeah, my girlfriend is really oversensitive. Yeah, sometimes I should tell something terrible for her or some, you know, sometimes I feel angry and I just talk a bit louder with her, and she's so oversensitive that she can cry for a long period, and I just spent a lot of time um, to apologize for her, to sorry her. Yeah, so I think my girlfriend is really oversensitive. So I need to use good words and change my habits so that we can have a good relationship, reliable là đáng tin cậy, ví dụ như unregrettable. Yeah, from my perspective, my friend is really reliable. He is always willing to help me in difficult situation. You know, he gives me a hand to do exercises after school. Yeah, or he's even gives me a lift when I'm really busy. I cannot ride the motorbike to school. Yeah, and sometimes when I ask him for doing something, he will do it immediately instead of waiting a lot of time. Yeah, so he really reliable. Yeah, sometimes I reveal my secret with him, but I must say he's really loyal and reliable. I can believe in his character, self-assured thì nó có nghĩa là chậm hẹp, tức là một cái self-assured là một từ có nghĩa là tự trấn áp bản thân mình, tự tin là tự là chắc chắn. Yeah, I'm not a self-assured person because I'm so isolated because I don't have any chance to talk with my friend on a daily basis. Yeah, I just stay alone in the house. So I really quite introverted. I cannot make more friends like others or have a good communication skill until I'm going to become an English teacher. Now I'm still stuck in my head that I don't push myself to a limit or willing to give myself a challenge. Yeah. So although my friend is really self-assured, he is only confident in his actions, his task. Yeah. And sometimes he uh, don't like studying anything like that. Yeah, but he is really optimistic and open-minded. Yeah, he just said he needed enough scores to pass the courses instead of getting a high mark because um, it's really meaningless when you just have academic knowledge but don't have anything in the real life but experiences and sociable là kiểu hòa đồng friendly thân thiện. My neighbors are really friendly and sociable. Yeah, because they are willing to help people in difficulties so that they can overcome and recover maybe from their illnesses. Yeah, for example, when I get ill and I need to get to the hospital for several days, yeah, there are some familiar neighbors near my house who take a long run to come to the hospital to visit me. So I really appreciate and admire her contribution and her friendly attitudes toward me. How about stingy? Stingy kiểu là kiểu là kiểu kiểu keo kiệt bủn xỉn á. Yeah, I don't like making friends with a stingy person because he or she cannot have something in common with me. We can fall out with each other in some cases that cannot occur and that are not stingy because they just let you to pay the bills when both of you are going to have coffee or have dinner in a restaurant. Yeah, or in the relationship, in a friendship. Yeah, some friends can show their stingy attitudes because they just care about themselves. They never give you a hand in the teamwork or to handle the workload at class. Okay, yeah, I give you some clarification and explanation for these words. Yeah, you need to use this word in the right sentence in the context to help you understand, and you will naturally use it right. Which adjectives in exercise 1 are negative and which are positive? Draw a table like the one below and put the words into the correct column. Vậy cái nào là positive và cái nào là negative? Tính từ thì mọi người cứ cứ để vào cái cột này, cái này không quan trọng. Đây, okay. Number 3. Which adjectives from exercise 1 would you use to describe yourself? Mọi người sẽ có một vài phút để mà chuẩn bị. Ôn lại những cái attitude lúc nãy và mọi người sẽ sử dụng trong các một câu để mà mô tả về bản thân mình. How would you describe yourself? Bạn thấy mình như thế nào? Bạn có thể mô tả bản thân mình như thế nào, tính cách của mình? Ví dụ như là I'm an ambitious person. I always dream of becoming a billionaire. If I can do that, I would spend a lot of time raising funds to help poor children and miserable citizens in my hometown or even in the country. In addition, I will have have the power to make people obey uh, my options. Yeah, so I would say that when I have a lot of money, I can do something positive for the community and society to make it better. Um, but the first thing I need to do is to provide my family with a good standard of living. I will give them a comfortable life. For example, we will live in a big mansion in the city center. Yeah, and we will have a happy life to make up for the hardworking days my parents used to work all the time to pay for my tuition. So my ambition is really big. How would you describe yourself? Thì mình sẽ trả lời theo hai cách. Cái thứ nhất đó chính là I consider myself to be. Tôi cảm nhận bản thân mình như thế nào? I consider myself to be. Rồi sẽ thêm một cái tính từ vào và chúng ta sẽ gửi thêm cái details, cái example cho cái câu hỏi của mình. Như là I could say I was. Tôi muốn nói tôi là một người như thế nào đó. Ví dụ như tôi đã từng người như thế nào, nhưng mà bây giờ tôi như thế nào và trong tương lai tôi sẽ như thế nào. Bây giờ chúng ta sẽ sử dụng thử hai mẫu câu này với những cái tính từ bên đây. Ok, chúng ta sẽ nói về in the past, now, and in the future. Okay, I will give you 5 minutes to do that, but before that I will give you a model answer with me. Okay. Yeah, I could say that I used to be clever in the past. Did you know I always got the highest position in my class? My mark maximum is 10. Yeah, and I got it over and over again. But I think it was not enough because but my physical education was really bad. So I think it's a big problem because I cannot strike a balance between my academic courses and physical activities. Yeah, but now I'm a working person and also an open-minded citizen because I can consider myself to be reliable and sociable. Yeah, I want to communicate with many people, with people from different backgrounds, so that we can understand each other more, or get on well with each other. Sometimes we hang out to go to a cafe or go to the cinema to watch movies or even go shopping together. I think it will be an amazing trip for us. Yeah, and learn being positive in my life. I can reduce the my comparisons attitudes to others. I used to compare myself with others, but now I will be open-minded and positive. I always believe in myself and self-assured so that I can stay motivated during difficult times because now I'm a student and I stay alone. So these factors are really important for me to change. If not, I can be stuck in my workload, in my bad behaviors, like lacking our communication skills that cannot offer me with a good and stable job in the future. Becoming an English teacher is really difficult because I need to be patient. I need to widen my horizon by traveling around the world, meeting a lot of people from different countries, from various lifestyle, and by combining these uh, experiences together, I will grow into a better version of myself. And in the future, if I could have a wish, yeah, I would like to return to my hometown with my family because I always consider myself to be, creative and outgoing. I don't want to just stay indoors all the time. Yeah, I want to have challenging jobs in my hometown. In rural area, it's really hard for me to find a good job. So I want to give me a challenge when I get older. So maybe I can work on the field like other farmers to experience their difficulties or even repair the bicycle or many vehicles for students with a low priced salary. So I think experience are better than um, your money that you can earn, even as long as you spend your young your youth, your ages before to earn lots of money, and after that, you can do other things that you like. So I'm an impatient person. I always dream of a big dream. I always dream of a big opportunity to change my life. vocabulary relationships. Match phrases Y to A with the definition A to H. Ok, chúng ta sẽ có những cái cụm từ này rất là hay ha, mọi người nên đọc và để mà mô tả có thể là trong IELTS speaking part 1, part 3 gì đó. Ví dụ như đây tôi thấy những cái câu này rất rất là hay, tại vì nó là một cái collocation. Khi mà mọi người sử dụng collocation of phrase or verb á, à, khi mà mọi người thi IELTS thì nó sẽ rất là tốt hơn. Okay, exercise 4. Number 1, get on with somebody. Yeah, nó có nghĩa là hòa hợp với ai đó. Ví dụ như là well, actually, I get on well with my older sister. Well, in the past, we used to play with each other for some traditional games like hide and seek. I think it was really surprising because usually the girl and the boys are really glad to be friendly like us. So I appreciate the the sibling relationship. So even when I study at university now, I always remember my older sister, and even sometimes I give her some gifts to my hometown to her so that I can express my respect for her. She used to work for long hours just to pay for my tuition fee at college. So I think when we get on with each other, we can overcome all of the challenges we have in our life. Kiểu hòa hợp, ok. Thì đáp án đúng của mình sẽ là have a good relationship, tức là có một cái mối quan hệ tốt và ai đó. One sẽ là B. Number 2, look up to somebody là tôn trọng ai. Ví dụ như là in your family, you need to look up to your parents, or even your siblings. Because if a family wants to strengthen a family bond, they need to give students, your children, a chance to express their respect. Yeah, by getting on with each other, they need to give other a hand or lend somebody an ear so that everyone can feel empathetic and happy. Look up to là kiểu kính trọng, ví dụ như là when you are in class, you need to look up to older people, or your teacher, because if you show your disrespect actions, you can be disregarded by other students in the class or even the teacher. Look up to somebody tức là kính trọng, respect somebody. Point 3, be in touch with somebody, kiểu là giữ liên lạc với ai đó. Yeah, although I live far from my hometown, my family members, I'm always keep in touch with my family member because I feel so homesick when I just stay alone. I don't have anyone to share my experiences with, so making a phone call with my family is really meaningful, and I spend quality time with them when I have free time. It was so amazing, and I'm gonna say that when you keep in touch with each other, we can strengthen our bond and get on well with each other more. Okay. Rồi ví dụ như là giữ liên lạc với một cái người bạn mà cái người đó đã sống ở nước ngoài thì sao, nó như thế nào. Okay. Yeah, although my friend who used to study at the same school with me when we were 18, now live in another country, Switzerland. It was really amazing because he could have a chance to immerse herself in nature and study in a good educational environment. But she's she still keeps in touch with me sometimes. Yeah, until now. Yeah, um, we usually give messages to each other to um, ask for help for living conditions, for jobs, for anything we used to talk about in the past. Yeah, and we even go to each other country to visit uh, our family and children, or um, even make a video call together to uh, get on well with each other until the last breath. So I think it's a good relationship, a good friendship. How about be in touch with somebody là kiểu liên lạc với nhau, sự liên lạc, be in communication with somebody. Number four, fall in love with somebody là kiểu cãi cọ với ai đó. Ví dụ như là after breaking up, the couple still fall down with each other. Well, when they seeing each other again on the road or in the restaurant, yeah, they show their blunt attitudes towards each others. But I don't think it's a good action because when you break up with someone, it means that you give them freedom in their life. You didn't have any right to attack them, to affect their emotion anymore. You need to live. You need to live in your life. Everyone has the right to live in their private life. Okay, fall out with somebody tức là cãi cọ với ai đó, là argue or stop being friendly with somebody. Yeah, just last month, my friends formed out with me just simply because, basically because I didn't make a lead by giving his signature on the checking list at school, and because he wore accents in my class, but um, he didn't give an indication for student or notification, but he just pays attention to my action. And when I did wrong, he really falls out with me and even break up our friendship for the whole week. Okay, roll apart from somebody. Apart tức là một phần, roll apart from somebody tức là gì? Cách xa nhau đúng không? Là trở nên cách xa mất đi cái sự thân mật. Ví dụ như là gì? During childhood, my friends called Lang due to was a good friend me, but nowadays we grow apart from each other. When she lived in a major city, but I just still in the countryside, our lifestyles are different. And when she come back to the hometown, we just say some words, but I think the differences between two regions can make us change our habits. We seem to grow apart from each other when we grow up, and we will have our own family. So the friendship is seem to fade away, and we grow apart from each other. Tức là gradually have a less close relationship with somebody. Tức là có cái mối quan hệ ít gần gũi với ai đó hơn. Dần dần là câu C. Số 6 thì là take after somebody, tức là giống ai đó. Yeah, I could say that I take after my father about his appearances because my eyes, my eyebrows, and nose are really similar to him. Yeah, in the past when I got lost in the market, some neighbors recognize me and take me back to my home. Yeah, so I think it was really easy to realize me in the crowd for familiar people. So I would say that um, I didn't, I am not afraid of getting lost. Yeah, however, I take after my mother about personality traits. I'm so kind and open-minded. I always think positively when things get wrong, and the workload um, as so challenging. But I I don't think a hot temper and impatient attitudes are better than optimistic perspectives. So I choose to handle the problem one by one. Okay, take after tức là giống ai đó, nhưng mà thì nó có nghĩa là resemble someone in your family in appearance or personality. Câu số 7, grow up together or with somebody. Okay, yeah, during childhood, my friend and I grew up together. We play traditional games together. Yeah, even we ate dinner together. So I think it was a time we were so happy because we didn't have to think a lot about our life, our deadlines, or other things. We now face challenges. Yeah, so I would say that growing up with my friend is a good memory that I cannot forget. Even now, she relocated to another country, which is really far from my hometown. We still keep in touch with each other by making a video call or giving messages on a daily basis. So I think growing apart from each other is also a signal for other friendship, but for us, we still be friends. How about be close to somebody? Grow up tức là lớn lên cùng nhau, tức là how many childhood and adolescent experiences in common with somebody. And the last one, be close to somebody, gần gũi với ai đó, tức là gì? Gần gũi với ai đó, know somebody well and see or talk to them often. Tức là như là I'm so close to my mother that I can show all of the things, my emotions, my stories with my mother on the time I like. But I'm not close to my father's, although I want to share my feelings, my appreciation for his contribution in my life. Yeah, he's is really hardworking and ambitious of having a happy life for our family members. So that's why he's really admirable. But I cannot talk with him for a long time or with good attitudes or laughing ways. I cannot explain why, but I'm an introverted. When I get older, when I grow up with my family members, I realize that my family has overcome a lot of challenges from the past until now. But now we live a healthy and you know and a good life. But we also need to concern more about many problems and many things. So that's why I think I really respect and look up to older people, younger people who are still poor and miserable like us in the past. Using phrases from exercise 4 make 8 sentences describing relationships you have. I take up to my dad. We're both quite careless. Thì lúc nãy thì mình đã describe, tôi đã đặt những cái sentences tôi đã sorry mình đã tạo ra những cái câu và để những cái cụm từ này vào trong đó rồi mọi người sẽ lại giúp mình. Và cái tiếp theo là exercise 6. Listen to three people talk about their relatives. Make notes as you listen. How do they describe their relatives and their relationship with them? Nghe ba người nói về cái họ hàng của họ và hãy make notes khi mà nghe và họ mô tả miêu tả cái họ hàng và cái mối quan hệ của họ với những cái người đó như thế nào. Okay, listen.
Collins English for Exams. Speaking for IELTS. Copyright HarperCollins Publishers 2011. CD 1. Track 1.
The person I'm closest to in my family is definitely my mum, Kate. We've always got on and we hardly ever fall out. I know that's unusual. She's really outgoing and sociable. She's always going out with friends and colleagues. Everyone thinks she's good fun. I look up to her because she's so hardworking. She never sits still and she works long hours. She can be a bit impatient though. She gets annoyed when her colleagues aren't as efficient as her. I take after her in that. I'm impatient too. And she's oversensitive, often getting offended for seemingly no reason.
2. My cousin Kieran and I grew up together. We were inseparable. He was so creative. He'd always think of new games we could play and make up these stories to make me laugh. I was constantly amazed by his open-mindedness as well. He was never judgmental. I wish I could be like that. Unfortunately, we grew apart, slowly but surely, and by the time we went to uni, we weren't in touch anymore. I haven't seen him for years. It's really sad. I would blame it partly on the fact that he's not very reliable. So, for example, if I email him, he won't respond. I'm not sure what he's up to these days. 3.
I know this is a cliche, but I don't get on with my in-laws, especially my mother-in-law, Jane. She's so nosy, always wanting to know what we're doing and who we're with, and she's terribly blunt, which means she quite often upsets us with things she comes out with. And then she can be quite stingy. When we go out for a meal with her and my father-in-law, she never offers to pay, even though they're much better off than us. I must say, though, she's extremely clever, and I do respect her for that. She set up her own business 5 years ago, and it's gone from strength to strength. She's so self-assured and ambitious too, which I suppose is why she's so successful in business.
Okay, listen again.
Collins English for Exams.
Listen again and make more notes. use. Look up any language. You do not know any dictionary and make notes of it. Okay.
Speaking for IELTS. Copyright HarperCollins Publishers 2011. CD 1. Track 1.
The person I'm closest to in my family is definitely my mum, Kate.
Mom. Người đầu tiên sẽ nói về mồm. Kate, tức là Kate. Thì cái người này như thế nào mô tả ra?
We've always got on and we hardly ever fall out. I know that's unusual. She's really outgoing and sociable. She's always going out with friends and colleagues. Everyone.
Outgoing and sociable. Chỉ cần be là outgoing.
Thinks she's good fun. I look up to her because she's so hardworking. She never sits still and she works long hours. She can be a bit impatient though. She gets annoyed when her colleagues aren't as efficient as her. I take after her in that. I'm impatient too. And she's oversensitive, often getting offended for seemingly no reason.
2. My cousin Kieran and I grew up together. We were inseparable. He was so creative. He'd always think of new games we could play and make up these stories to make me laugh. I was constantly amazed by his open-mindedness as well. He was never judgmental. I wish I could be like that. Unfortunately, we grew apart, slowly but surely, and by the time we went to uni, we weren't in touch anymore. I haven't seen him for years. It's really sad. I would blame it partly on the fact that he's not very reliable. So, for example, if I email him, he won't respond. I'm not sure what he's up to these days. 3.
I know this is a cliche, but I don't get on with my in-laws, especially my mother-in-law, Jane. She's so nosy, always wanting to know what we're doing and who we're with, and she's terribly blunt, which means she quite often upsets us with things she comes out with. And then she can be quite stingy. When we go out for a meal with her and my father-in-law, she never offers to pay, even though they're much better off than us. I must say, though, she's extremely clever, and I do respect her for that. She set up her own business 5 years ago, and it's gone from strength to strength. She's so self-assured and ambitious too, which I suppose is why she's so successful in business.
Okay, vocabulary modifying. Exercise 7. Listen to track 1 again and notice why the adjectives describing character and personality are modified. Complete sentences 1 to 10 with the modifying reference to here. Hãy tập từ câu 1 đến câu 10. Những cái chuyển từ mà bạn nghe được. She gì đây? Outgoing, social, working, impatient, creative, reliable. Listen again and nghe những cái trạng từ phải đi nhiều chú trọng. Rồi bây giờ, with the following guidance on modifying adjectives today. Okay, we can use ever like really or so before a positive adjective. She's really outgoing. He was so creative. We can use the same adverbs before a negative adjective, but we normally do this only if we do not like the person or are angry with them. Chỉ sử dụng những cái tính từ mà tiêu cực thôi. Nhưng mà thông thường chỉ dùng nó khi mà chúng ta không thích người đó hay là chúng ta giận người đó. Ví dụ she's so nosy. Còn nếu như mà chúng ta muốn nói cái gì tích tiêu cực về ai đó, she is impatient or he is unreliable. It can sound rude or too direct. Có thể là quá thô lỗ hoặc là quá trực tiếp. Là chúng ta hãy soften làm nghĩa ở đây bằng cái cách như là theo positive adjective ví dụ là she can be a bit impatient, cô ấy thì có một chút là không có kiên nhẫn, ví dụ hay là he is not very reliable, anh ta thì không quá là đáng tin cậy. Okay, giờ listen again. Okay, mình có thể skip qua cái exercise này. Rồi, exercise 9. Listen to track 1 again and repeat. Pay particular attention to your pronunciation. Nghe và lặp lại đúng không? Track 1. If you use a character adjective to describe someone in the exam, you should expand on it and explain it. Sử dụng cái tính từ và mô tả tính cách của ai đó thì nên expand, mở rộng và giải thích nó. Ví dụ như she is really outgoing and sociable. She is always going out with friends and colleagues. He is not very reliable. So, for example, if I email him, he won't respond. She's terribly blunt, which means she quite often upsets us with things he says. Okay. Just skip qua cái này nha. Write descriptions similar to those you hear in track 1 for members of your family. Use some of the adjectives. Remember to modify or những cái adjectives explain and expand nó là tiếp là negative point của mọi người. Cái này chúng ta biết về gia đình của mình hơn. Okay, practice your speaking skill and help you to remember the vocabulary that you learned. Tell an English-speaking friend about your relative or recall yourself. Đừng có viết xuống những gì mà bạn muốn nói và đọc nó lớn. Bạn sẽ không thể mà làm điều đó trong exam đâu. Bạn không có memorize được cả cái câu và cái đáp án. Bạn phải nói một cách spontaneously, cách ngẫu hứng. Okay, exam information. Thì cái này chúng ta đọc rồi. Rồi, exam information part 2. Okay, you are going to hear questions that are typical of part 1 of the exam. Listen to each question and give the answer. Try to use vocabulary and language you learned. Như vậy thì cái này mình sẽ nghe những cái câu ở part 1, nghe và trả lời câu hỏi. Audio số 2. Cố gắng là sử dụng những cái từ mình đã học nhé.
Track 2.
Tell me something about your family.
Well, my family has 4 members, my parents, my older sister, and me. I would say that both parents are really kind and, open-minded. My father is really hardworking and, he's used to work in long hours in the field so that he